time for We Still Don't Have an Intro. Boom, 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 boom. The Fantasy Rock Draft. And this week on the Fantasy Rock Draft, which, by the way, last time Chris Caputo won. I don't have it in front of me. A shit ton.
Three-peat.
Yeah, so hopefully one of us
Three-peat.
can break this fucking winning streak, Frost.
Well, I don't know. So I come in late. You guys had already picked. So theoretically, I should have been at a disadvantage. But I got some deep cuts.
You do got some good picks.
I got some deep cuts. So that could either hurt me or help me for two reasons. One, because people aren't going to be as familiar with their music, so they might not recognize how influential they are. But on the reason it might help me is if you know how influential they are, that might boost my votes on it.
And you can never really tell how the voting is going to go. So, I mean, that's a thing. So, with that, we're going to begin this week's Fantasy Rock Draft. The category is artists that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then in parentheses, we put, but are actually not. Since the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is coming up, we thought we would go ahead and have this as our Fantasy Rock Draft. And we've got some good ones here. So, finally, your boy Dustin Bonez. We didn't even flip a coin this week. Chris let me go first because I've been getting my ass kicked in everything fantasy, including the Rock Draft. So, hopefully, this week will be my fucking week. My number one draft pick for artists that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame but are not is Iron Maiden.
That's a big one.
Yeah. And I honestly, when we looked it up, I had to double check because I was like, they've got to be in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Judas Priest just got in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like a year or two ago.
I think last year.
Took them long enough. I don't see how Dolly Parton is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Iron Maiden isn't.
Well, they've been doing that for years where they induct people that don't really make, but it's because they want numbers on their streams or their because they put out the video version on website and on TV and so they want to get artists that are bringing viewers. So
yeah, it's streaming on Disney Plus Live this year, so it's pretty crazy.
Well, Chris, what is your number one draft pick for rock stars that should be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, this was actually mentioned by one of the inductees going in this year, and I was kind of surprised. I was like, really? This guy? So I was like, my first pick, Billy Idol.
Billy Idol. Okay. I mean, I can see that. I can't believe Billy Idol's not in the Hall of Fame.
He was big in the 80s, man.
There's two ways I think about it. On one hand, like your pick, Dustin, Iron Maiden, and then Caputo's pick, Billy Idol. They're both huge acts. And so just on popularity reasons, you're like, they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then on the other hand, though, when you think of influence, they, I guess in a sense, were influential. But when you try thinking about the course of how much they changed music, I can understand maybe why they're not in there. But they should certainly be in there. Like you said, they're inducting people like Dolly Parton, Mary J. Blige, people like that. If they're getting in, then definitely they should all be. All these other ones that we're talking about.
Yeah. Like NWA, I can get it because of the attitude. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That fuck you rock and roll attitude that they had. I can get behind that. If they fucking put Shania Twain in there before they put Iron Maiden or Billy Idol, I'm going to lose my shit. We're going to burn this motherfucker down, Pookie.
Let's go, girls.
Well, and with that, Mason, what is your first draft pick?
So I guess I joined into y'all's call like right when y'all were done picking because I heard this brought up. And then when you told me to pick, I was like, well, tell me what y'all have already picked so I know not to pick them. And I thought this was already going to be picked because I heard y'all talking about it. And to my pleasant surprise, it wasn't. And I think it's the number one artist that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it's a travesty that they're not because they're responsible basically single-handedly for all the bands that followed them in the 70s and 80s. They're responsible for the punk and glam scenes that followed, and that's the New York Dolls.
Okay.
And everybody, like, you had the late 70s glam movement. So that from that, you had like Slade and T-Rex, all that comes from Hanoi Rocks. But then also your 80s bands, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, all of them were inspired by the New York Dolls and Hanoi Rocks. And then, so they're both directly inspired from the New York Dolls and indirectly through other bands that were inspired by them. So,
Well, I got to be honest. I don't know any of their music personally, but
you would know Human Being. Guns N' Roses did Human Being.
Oh, is that by them?
Spaghetti Incident? That's a New York Dolls song.
Yeah.
And then You Can't Put Your Arms Around a Memory. Also, that's a Johnny Thunders song, which is the guitarist from the New York Dolls.
Okay, well that makes sense. What else is Johnny Thunder from? Why do I know him?
Well, he had a band called. Well, there's another artist called Johnny Thunder without the S. He's an older artist, but I doubt you know him because he's kind of obscure. Johnny Thunders had a punk band in the late 70s, going in the 80s, called it was Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers.
Okay,
But it's not the Tom Petty Heartbreakers. That's a different.
that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Tom Petty ditched them and Johnny Thunder picked them up. Oh man,
the new Heartbreakers.
All right, moving right along. Round 2 of the Fantasy Rock Draft. Artists that should be inducted in the Hall of Fame. I picked Poison. I feel like they've got a lot of good songs, and they were very popular back in the day. Like, you can say what you want about them being cheesy or what the fuck ever, but I mean, come on. They're a legendary band with several great songs, and yeah, I think they should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'd give them credit too, because they were like very early in the sort of these like their glam metal scene in Hollywood, like them, and they're like Motley Crue, which is another pretty. I mean, despite what we think of them as human beings, it's pretty big. Like them, like Motley Crue especially, are not in. It's wild.
Nobody drafted them.
Yeah, I only figured out after the fact. I was like, "Fuck."
I mean, you're welcome to change your mind if you really want to. But
I may, but
I think
I'm
we've
very
all
confident
three
about my
got
next
some
pick.
pretty strong lineups, though. So why don't you go ahead and tell them what your second pick is?
This may be because of like recency bias and the big news sweeping this 15-year reunion in the making, but I gotta give my pick to Oasis.
Okay.
Because they were very much like influential in the 90s, part of that whole British, like the sort of the 90s British revolution of music coming to America, like them, Blur, a lot of Britpop that was coming over stateside. They were definitely one of those bands from across the pond that people were really hyped and talking about, especially in the 90s.
Yeah, we get it, Caputo. You're loyal to the British Empire. We get it.
The Commonwealth.
Emperor Charles.
They're great, bro. I've been going digging through the discography and stuff. Some really.
Anyways, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
You know what'd be great if they did get inducted and then they got in a fight at the Hall of Fame and broke up again.
Y'all see that fucking? I'm sure y'all probably covered it when it happened because I'm like weeks behind on listening to that podcast. But fucking that video of fucking Perry Farrell punching Dave Navarro.
Yeah,
they broke up at like their first concert back together.
It was like halfway through their tour.
And
I thought it was like one of the first shows.
No, they're about halfway through a summer tour.
I
was actually like half debating on getting tickets because they're going to come to Toronto. And I'm like, oh well, shit.
They were supposed to play here in like Huntsville like a week after that, and obviously that got pulled.
Yeah.
Dave Navarro was like, "Hey man, if you don't punch me in the face tonight, we got to go to Huntsville, fucking Alabama." And then he goes,
Dave Navarro's been through enough shit, man. Leave that alone.
Let's stage a fight like Oasis did now that they're back, and we'll get a little bit of a break, and the record company will pay us to sit on our ass for a few years, and then they'll throw even more money at us to finish this tour. Our pretty solid plan. It worked for Axl and Slash. because we found out just very recently, not going to say from any other details, but it has been confirmed. You'll just have to take our word for it at this point that they had actually patched things up years ago. Just saying. Anyway, moving right along. Mason, round 2. What is your second draft pick?
All right, I gotta go with another legend of a genre. Another one that was kind of, when I looked up, surprised me that he wasn't in, but also at the same time doesn't surprise me. And a legend that I can say I've been lucky enough to see, and it was probably the craziest fucking show I ever went to, and that is Iggy Pop.
Oh, Iggy Pop. Okay.
All right.
Iggy Pop. What song does he sing?
Oh, he's got a lot. I mean,
I
want to be your dog.
Okay.
Lust for Life.
Lust for Life. The Passenger. Those are from his solo career. I Want to Be Your Dog is when he was with the Stooges still. But then they fucking had I can't even think of the fucking. But there's probably a couple Stooges songs that you probably know though.
What did he do? What was that song he did with Slash on the Slash and Friends album?
Oh, We're All Gonna Die.
We're All Gonna Die.
Okay. Have we covered that yet? I don't think so.
No.
That's a good one. And then in the early 90s, Slash and Duff played on his album and did a song on his album called Home.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that one.
I don't off the top of my head.
Do not. That's going to be added to the wheel, though. We'll put it on a shotcast, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do it on a shotcast.
Oh, definitely. We have a whole bunch of
a legend of punk
stuff,
music. Like the man's pushing 80 and he's still going out there fucking going crazy.
To this day. Well, Iggy Pop is Mason's pick. All right, it's time for the final round. Round 3. Fantasy rock draft. I chose the Misfits. And I chose the Misfits because they founded a whole genre of punk music.
Horror
you
punk,
didn't see
They're
horror
like the
punk.
godfathers of it.
Yeah.
And see, I think what we're getting to here in this fantasy rock draft is that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has overlooked a lot of punk artists that should be in there.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
100%.
Because I mean, I've got 2 artists that would be considered punk. You've got a punk artist. It looks like punk is highly underrepresented.
Unfortunately, it does appear that way. Chris, why don't you do your final draft pick?
Yeah, because I was thinking of for my last one for a very 90s band. So I was trying to think of other grunge bands that I'm in there. But I was that was also kind of mid to late 90s, early sort of rise of pop punk. So I was thinking Green Day, but they're already in. And so I figured the next best thing would be Blink 182.
Okay, but here's the thing. When was Blink 182's first album?
1995.
That old? I didn't know they were that old. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know they were that early in the 90s.
Yeah, they started in 95. They didn't really blow up until 99 was at the state. That was fucking huge.
All right, and finally, Mason Frost. Mason Frost, what is your final pick?
So here's the thing. I was sitting here thinking, and Dustin's going to know this because he had my picks already wrote down. And Iggy Pop was originally my 3rd pick. And the reason I moved him up to my 2nd pick is because I was sitting here debating one of my picks because I thought of somebody else.
Okay.
And here I can either play to try winning or I can play with the artist that I'd rather have be in this spot. So my original pick for this other spot is legendary and, in my opinion, the greatest metal vocalist of all time, and that is Dio.
Okay.
And that was my original pick.
But
I was sitting here, but I think I'm gonna make a last minute switch out here And I think I'm more likely to win if I kept Dio there because I think more people are going to know Dio and recognize Dio. But I think maybe an artist that I think is, well, one, I like better, and then two, maybe is more influential, even if not as well known. And now I'm going to give my third pick actually to the Smiths.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a very good one. The Smiths
Big
aren't in the
Morrissey
Hall of
guy.
Fame?
No, they're not.
I did not know that. I assumed that.
The Cure just got in a couple years ago.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, the Cure in
But
there now.
I don't even know if the Smiths have even ever been nominated. I don't even know if they've ever been nominated.
They're eligible for sure, but I don't know if, yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. Well, there you go. So here's our final list. Dusty Bonez, I picked Iron Maiden, Poison, and the Misfits, Chris Caputo, Billy Idol, Oasis, and Blink-182, and Mason Frost, the New York Dolls, Iggy Pop, and the Smiths. Who drafted the better team? After the show, you can head over to the community tab on the Guns N' Radio YouTube channel and vote over there, and we'll declare a winner next week. Actually, in 2 weeks on Guns N' Radio. More on that later. We are going to be taking a live week off. We're taping next week's show in advance. So, but there's no reason not to check it out. It's still going to be the same fun bullshit you already know and enjoy. Before we move on from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame discussion, I do want to read over, because I pick a lot in case somebody picks one of mine. I got some good backups. But here's some honorable mentions of people who are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but probably should be. And these are the ones I didn't pick. You guys might have some more also. So I got Faster Pussycat.
Okay.
But then it's like, what did they really? They got that one good song, but I couldn't tell you 2 different songs by them. So I get it.
Well, I only know 2 of the songs from them anyways. So
38 Special.
Okay.
Is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Twisted Sister is not in the Hall of Fame. Lita Ford. And this was my original third pick. However, we decided the no Guns N' Roses rule did apply, so I did not choose the Replacements.
Does that count as a Guns N' Roses?
You know what? I'm. It's fair. I made the pick. I let Caputo decide. That's a fair.
But that's like fair. Even if you count that, that's like before, right?
Well, I think the Misfits deserve it just as much. Hell, when it came down to picking between the Misfits and the Replacements, I originally flipped a coin. And then before I picked the Replacements is when we had the discussion. Does that count?
I'll tell you another honorable mention that I'm not even going to look up because I just know off the top of my head that they're definitely not in the Hall of Fame because it just wouldn't make sense that they would be, but I think could be, and that's Extreme.
Okay. Ooh. I know a few of their songs. I just can't.
Yeah.
I know that they're in my playlist, but I can't identify the fucking songs.
Well, obviously the big one that everybody knows is More Than Words.
That's Get the Funk Out.
But yeah, More Than Words is like not representative of their music. It's like an acoustic ballad, but that's the one that got huge and everybody knows. But a lot of their stuff is like really like hard rock funk kind of stuff.
Well, I have to check them out some more.
That's one of those bands. RHCP were like very influential, sort of like that, bringing the funk into rock back in.
Yeah, and it's also one of those bands like if you just listen to the hits, you don't get the full. Kind of like somebody brought to my attention, like if you listen to the Bee Gees, but not just like the disco shit, like Staying Alive and stuff. Like if you listen to their other songs that they didn't play on the radio, apparently you get a much better band, a real solid band. And I've said that about Hanson.
I like the hit ones. I like the hit ones though too. So I mean, even if it was just that, I still think they're good. So
I think Hanson could be in there. I think they deserve to be because
they've gotten better.
Boys are talented. Oh yeah, dude! Like people laugh at you when you say that. And Rick was the first person to point it out to me, and I laughed at him. But no, he's right. Hanson is great in real life, and everybody's gonna comment bop and shit like that. But like I said, later in life. Oh, Franz is in the chat. Tons of Housewives bought that Extreme album, and More Than Words was like about, and the rest of the album was effing ear cancer.
That's an opinion. So
I was gonna say, I that album is one of my probably top 5 favorite albums of all time.
Speaking of ear
Shit.
cancer, as a joke, I wrote down G.G. Allen.
Yeah,
And,
the innovator of scat.
If it's scat punk,
Yeah, he was the real scat man. Poor scat man John.
And
there's you an
Frost-
edit you can make, Dustin. The Scatman
You have
song
G.G.
over just
Allen
the
doing the
montages
Scatman.
of G.G. Allen.
Dude, G.G. Allen.
Oh, he's just like flinging shit.
Well, his music was shit. Anyway, go check. Who do you think deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Vote on our teams and leave your ideas in the comment section below.